brother of Young Thug. If you guys don't know, there was a recent hearing where he got 9 years because he got like 10 years probation. You know, everybody got these sweet ass plea deals. He got 10 years probation, and after he got the 10 years probation, he got let out of jail because he was in the YSL RICO case. And 6 months later, he got caught with a gun in the car. So because he got caught with a gun in the car, that was a violation of his probation. And this judge obviously gave him the probation. This judge then sentenced him rather quickly to say, yo, I can't believe I let you out of jail and you got caught with a gun. That case probably still hasn't even been adjudicated yet, but he didn't care. He said, yo, you're going to go back to jail for 9 fucking years. And this was the hearing where he said it. Here we go.
You got arrested with a gun within 6 months of you being placed on probation. And I agree with the state that you're not a candidate for probation because all you had to do is just complete your probation and do what you're supposed to do. Instead, you were riding around the car with a gun, several. You got arrested.
Here we go. That is a long thing. It basically said you was riding around with a gun. And Young Thug's brother, apparently that's his blood brother, he's going to jail for 9 years. Now, here's the thing, because when everybody claimed that this judge and this whole system of the RICO was just a fraud, everybody believed, well, if everybody's getting 10 years probation, nobody's going to get punished. Well, if you accept 10 or 15 years probation, you can't do a fucking thing for 10 to 15 years. If you get caught or you even quote unquote violate according to the judge in any way possible, he could sentence you to 15 years. So agreeing to 15 years probation is putting yourself on thin ice for 15 years. So he's the first one to get caught doing something on probation, and the judge hit him with the fucking hammer, which means I would imagine other people on probation are going to probably be watching themselves. Or it's now going to be the precedent to say, if any of y'all fuck up, we're going to treat it like y'all pled guilty to this RICO charge anyway. So y'all thought y'all got out easy while pleading guilty to the RICO charge for probation, but this probation going to hang over your head. Remember, you got to remember the whole thing with Meek when he was on probation. Man, they pretty much had Meek on like a decade-long probation and trying to lock him up at any turn for anything he did. Oh, you didn't tell us you were going here. Oh, you did this wrong. So they were really a thorn in Meek Mill's side, and looked like Unfoonk, which is allegedly Young Thug's brother, has fell victim to this. I could see why this nigga Gunna, who I think Gunna is on probation for a while, you know, Gunna gonna stay out the way and make sure he ain't got no time for none of this type of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that happened. However, paperwork came out. So let me see if I can find it. They said there was paperwork. Where's it at?
Like bad paperwork?
Oh, yeah, it was kind of bad, bro. It's pretty bad. Here we go. Young Thug's brother or older brother paperwork. Now, they're saying this is worse than Gunna, which again puts the microscope on YSL to say, why aren't y'all mad at anybody but Gunna? So here's the paperwork right here. This is his signature. This is his signature that he had to sign. So he agreed to all these things in the plea. And I guess the paperwork is a plea, but people didn't have the paperwork for the plea. So he says, I'm a member of Goodfellas gang. I became associated with YSL in 2019. On or about April 3rd, I discussed with a YSL associate securing prosecution for another YSL associate at Fulton County Jail. Look, he signed his initial to, on April 3rd, I discussed with the YSL associate securing not prosecution, protection for another YSL associate at Fulton County Jail. On about April 14th, I, along with another YSL associate, discussed harming an inmate at the Fulton County Jail because I believe the inmate harmed a YSL associate. On the 14th, conversation reference here, discuss a drone to illegally fly cell phones into jail, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what did these things say? remember, you see, people keep going around this, oh, this ain't snitching versus is snitching when it comes to the plea deal because they're saying, who are you telling on? Granted, there's no other name in what he's signing to, but let's say on April 3rd, right? You were locked up April 3rd, and April 3rd, the only phone call or the only whatever they have is you and let's say, I don't know, Slime Life Shorty. I'm just making that up. When you essentially say that you're guilty of doing it without calling the other person name, if they're the other person in the act and the state could prove they're other person in the act, you already told them what the act is. You basically secured protection for them. You also discussed harming an individual because you thought they'd harm. Like, this is, you're pleading your side to cases that include multiple people. So when you say you did something and they could prove that it was you and another nigga, they're going to be like, well, we could use this as evidence to convict the other guy because we know for a fact y'all were together. If one guy is saying he did it and they were with the other guy, it kind of means the other guy did it too, right? All right. You continue. It says during the April 14th, 2022 conversation reference, he says, I also discussed using a drone to fly illegal cell phones in the jail. Then he says, okay, this are the defendant's acknowledgments. All statements are truthful. YSL, otherwise known as Young Slime Life, is a gang. So he also says YSL is a gang. Says some identifiers of YSL he's attesting to is wearing green, wearing clothing with words YSL or slime, wearing pendants displaying letters YSL or the word slat. One of the colors of YSL is green for slime. YSL uses different several hand signs, some of which are wiping the nose with the index finger. Oh, that's what it means? I thought that was allergies. Oh, shit. That's crazy. All right. Language that the members that YSL use include slat, which means slime, love all the time, calling each other as blood or slime. Symbols they use is green heart, green snake, blowing nose, green vomit emojis. Okay, by the way, if you don't know, so they're going to now use the emojis that Young Thug or whoever uses to be like, oh, you know, Young Thug's going to be like, I never ever referenced this gang. And they're going to be like, yes, you did when you put these symbols. And when you put these symbols, we have your brother literally saying that means slime. Okay? So I have here it goes. This is the Gunna quote. I have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed at least one of the following acts as alleged in the indictment, which is murder, aggravated assault, robbery, theft, illegal gun possession, or illegal firearm possession. Okay? Then he says, I understand if I violate this plea agreement, the district attorney can and will use a statement against any judicial proceedings. I am subject to having the entirety of my sentence revoked to prison. By the way, I think this only, like, nobody would have believed that he signed this deal, except the deal now becomes public because he's getting sentenced. So the judge basically revoked his probation and basically say, I'm sentencing you. And because of that, that's why we have this information. Before, we would have not known what he said because they only really taped. They taped what Gunna proceeding was. They didn't tape anybody's else. Okay? God damn, man. This shit is crazy. Holy, man. All right, chat. My dog's upstairs crying for a bit, so give me one.